All right, everyone. So welcome to today's class. We started, but due to new learners that joined the program, the training rather, we had to start over again. So welcome Emedium, welcome Sandra, welcome Glory, welcome Favor, and the rest. Okay, so without wasting time, we will start immediately and I'll start sharing my screen. So from here, this is your desktop, you can right click from there, then go to new folder, then give it a name, you can call it Python for AI/ML. Okay, so you hit enter, right click on it, then open with code. Please, you have to follow along. Okay, so we have it here. This is our folder. And mind you, this is to create a file, and here is to create a folder. So inside this folder, we're going to create a subfolder and name it maybe Python. All right. Okay, so that's good. From there, we can, from here, create subsequent file like hello.py. Okay, so let's stop there and then again get to know why we are here. First of all, this program, this training rather, it's for Python for AI and machine learning. And today is actually our first class, if I should say. So I understand that we are all new, like completely new to it. So I want to start from bottom to top, like from the of all. Just to know, Python is an open source. By open source, I mean you can contribute to it. Maybe along the line, you find a bug, you need to correct something, you need to do something, you can request for pull request, make the correction, and if it's acceptable, voila, you are good to go. Then again, syntax of Python is very easy to learn and has high readability, just like English language. I told you the class is going to be very fun. Like, you don't have to feel, as we proceed, you see. So what that means is that if you can speak English very well, you are good to go. You are good to go to learning Python. And of course, it supports and it has extensive support libraries like that of the data science, machine learning, data analytics, and the rest. It also has a friendly and rich built-in data structures, which are easy to use also. So you see, as we proceed, that means Python provide an option for dynamic level, okay, which reduce the length of support code. That means we just print this, you have your outputs, print your name, print your age, print this, you are good to go. So the object-oriented design of Python is very clean and it provides enhanced process control. So you want to ask, why Python? Why do you need to use it? To quote many companies, and I want to cite a few of them, like Google, like Wikipedia. I use Python, and these social media work sites like the Reddit is entirely written in Python. So we have fast usage when it comes to Python. Would have some Django framework, all of that Flags, NumPy is done with Python. So you don't have to fear. I got you. That was just a quick introduction. So you have to get an answer on it. At least you now have some level of knowledge. Oh, why this? Why this? So let's get our hands on it. Like I said, the Python syntax is very simple, very straightforward, not as statically typed like some language, like C programming, like Rust, and all of that. Of course, it's a high-level programming language, and it uses interpreter instead of compiler like C programming. So with that, let's see how to use Python. The first thing you may probably know about Python is just the first Python line, the first line of code. Got talk of print something, print anything. So could say print welcome to class. That's simple. Save it and then run your code. Look at that. Welcome to class. As simple as that. I told you just like English language. So we're going to have a lot of fun while learning. Not just this, you can print your name. And to even get started, let me break it down. So don't see Python as one rocket science language or one rocket science slangs used by top developers and all of that. So let's go back to high school days. So Python is just like one of your languages back then, maybe English language, like I mentioned before, or chemistry. So in that sense, you know that chemistry there, it's about chemicals, formula, empirical, and all of that. When you get to mathematics, you have to calculate. Okay. So Python is just like one of those language, one of those subjects. Let me call it subject too. So if with this, with some logic, yes, English language with some logic, that means some influence, mathematics influence it. So that's where the logic comes. Like just print. This is you telling someone, like using the normal English, what is your name? So I'm trying to welcome everyone to class today. So I cannot just like welcome to class and now use it, pass a command to a computer using the print function, right? Let's print welcome to class, and voila, we have it. As simple as that. Now, don't mind my spelling. Some people will be frankly, oh, she had only one S to class. Python does not really pay attention to spellings, but consistency, right? So if you're consistent with it, Python does not want you to be a top lexicographer, right? To write Python code. Just be consistent with what you are doing, and then again you are good to go. So it's consistency is the key. All right. So let's look at it. Not just welcome to class. I can add someone's name here. Let me go to the call and check someone's name. Okay, can see favor, can see medium. Let me use one of those. I want to welcome um, favor to the class. So I could say from here, Prince. Okay. Prince, let me take this out. Prince, welcome to class favor. Someone's there. Just that you save it. And there are two ways of doing that. There are two ways of running the Python code. Is either you use this. If you use this, you need to install an extension called Code Runner. So if you hit this extension, then you search Code Runner. This is it. Okay, so I have it installed already. So if you don't have it and you want to save your space of using the terminal, you can install this Code Runner. That's okay. But if you're in for doing I think something like that. You can use the terminal instead. Use the terminal instead. My this thing is working now. So let's come here. Yeah, if you cannot get it here, to do that, you can come to these three dots. All right. Let me first of all take this. You can come to these three dots. You see terminal, then you open new terminal. So this part is what I call terminal. All right. So if you're using PowerShell, it automatically gets you to the part which is from our desktop, then go to our folder, and then again to there. So you can see the what is it called? CD Python. CD Python. This CD means, oh, some people are frowning. What is CD? CD means change directory. Okay, so I'm trying to change my directory to this Python folder. What you call folder, of course, is directory. So you'll be hearing more of directory from me. So when you hear directory, you don't look lost, right? Okay, so you see now we are in the Python folder. So if you want to run this hello.py, you could type Python hello.py, then hit enter, and then go to. Okay, what do you have there? Let me switch. Think I'm more of a Ubuntu. Please, it's just the same thing. So if you don't have it, you can use more. So I'll go here, new terminal, and new terminal, run it. And then at this point, I need my Ubuntu is now up. Okay, so let's stick to this anyways. Just save your code and then again run it. I'll check that out. So welcome to class favor. Right. So with that, let's talk about variables. So what are variables? Of course, variables are some memory locations where we save values. Let me not use save, where we store values. And by that store, I mean your storage. So when we talk about variable as storage, let's make it real, okay? Imagine your GP tank at home is a storage. Of course, we store water. But in our case, variable stores values of which we will see as we proceed. So you have your different storage. You have your box for storing clothes. You have your pockets for storing water. You have your bag storing books and all of that. So in our case, just I want to bring that real life so that, okay, maybe you don't get the logic. The time I'm speaking is too much. You join to real life. Oh, she said variable is a storage, it's a container. What does it store? It stores values. So in real life, you have your container of water that stores water. So at this, in your own case, water is a value, right? So it's as simple as that. Okay, so I can use someone name. You can use anything. You can decide to use letters of the alphabet. You can use any name. As you proceed, we'll see rules on how to name a variable. But before then, let me make this real. Let me say favorites. I'll use for that equals to this equals to is not the in quotes equals to uses is an assignment operator. So I want to assign my value to this favor. Just watch. So I'll call it a string. I'll still explain more what a string is. But for now, chill. I said, welcome to class. Welcome to class favor, right? This red line is telling us that, oh, there's a birthday and indentation matters. So welcome to class favor, right? I'm now storing this greet message inside this variable. And what does a variable is? It stores the memory storage, okay? So I can always refer to this greet message from favor. Let's see how. that works. I did our comments of this still showing. So let's print. The other time we print welcome to class favor, but then again we store this message inside favor. Okay, so let's try and print it out. Save our code, then run. Welcome to class favor. So that is another way of printing that. I hope everyone is following. Maybe at some point you are lost. At any point you are lost, you can admit and call my attention to it. But just on reaction, everyone can hear me. I mean, I'm not talking to myself. We have about 10 of us in the call. Okay, that's beautiful. Let's proceed. No, this is not. All right, so what are the things, other things you can store? Is it only strings? That's where we get to data types. We get to data types very soon. Very soon. But before this, so I won't forget, we have some rules of naming variable. One of them is that a variable name must start with a letter or an underscore. By an underscore, I mean this sign. This is an underscore. Double of it is called underscore. So one like this is called an underscore. So a variable can either start with a letter or start with an underscore. It's must, please take note, it must not start with what? A number. Okay, like 2, 2, 4, or something like that. No. So it can be alphanumeric. So by alphanumeric, I can see favor underscore name or could say second name at 2. By that is still acceptable, right? And then again, you should know that if a variable is case sensitive, so favor with capital letter F is not the same thing with favor with small letter F. All right, so please take note of that. It's consistency over any other thing. And another thing is that you cannot use the Python reserve keywords as your variable. Something like int, string, float, boolean, all of that, you cannot use it. They are Python reserve keywords. So as we proceed, we'll get to know what keywords are and why they should be reserved. Okay, so before we even start using this these data types, let's see what are data types. So in programming, just like any other programming language, so in Python, data types is a very important concept. Okay, so variables can be stored using different data types. And then again, different data types can do different things. So the function of string is different from what integer does. It's different from what boolean does, and it's different from what float does. Let's see it out. Okay, so let me use my notepad for that. So if we have something like let me say data types in Python. All right. So we have ints. So this stands for integer. So this we have integer data type, which of course is this under integer data types. Under integer data types, we have something like maybe using a variable of x equals to assign it to 3. So 3 is an integer. Of course, back in school, we know what an integer is. They are positive or negative whole numbers. So any of these, either positive or negative, is an integer using high school definition. Okay, so we have this is an integer. So we have a float data type, a float data type, and under that you could say s equals to maybe 3.0. Okay, So you see this from this point is a float. Okay. So we have another thing, string is a string data type. Under the string, that is where we have favor equals to, of course, we use our quote notation, which signifies that it is a string. So favor is a string. Then we have boolean, boolean data type, the boolean using bool. I know how to spell it. Is that it? Yeah, that should be it. Boolean. And for boolean, we have either true, you have either true or false. False. So that is it for boolean. Then we have other called collective data types. Collective data types. Under that, we have for the collective data types, we have tuples, we have sets, we have list, we have dictionary, and the rest, map, and the rest. So every module the data types we see as we proceed. Okay, so now let's get into implementing is how can we use a data type. Let's get it into application. Of course, we use one of it, which is string, and we saw the uses. So let's get to use integer, right? So let me use x. Say x and I'll assign it. So let me calling this, it is an assignment operator. I'll be calling it equals to, so like equals to. The double one is equals to, right? So but the second one is an assignment operator. So x and I'll assign x to, let's say 3. Okay. So if I say print x, if I say print x and I'll comment this out, I'm coming to that comment. So just chill to show you what I'm doing there. So this is x and I'll say print x, okay? When I save it, if you don't know how to save it, if it's Control S to automatically save that. So if I run my code, see this 3. This is 3, right? Okay, so that is for that. And then again, I'll come down and say S, and I'll assign S to 3.0. That is for floats, okay? So if we print S, save it, and run our code, you have 3 for the integer and 3.0 for floats. Let's check out for strings. I'll say name equals to favor, and let's print it out. So I'll save that and I'll run my code. So we have string, we have floats, we have favor for the strings. Okay. Now we can typecast. This is something called typecasting, and by typecasting we mean we want to change, let me call it type, or just call it casting. Casting. Okay, so what casting does is that it help us, okay, convert from one data type to another. Can typecast it from what do you say, an integer to a string, a float to an integer, and integer to a float, and what have you. So let's see that. Okay, now I will leave this, leave some few lines and see what that is. So from there, I'll say x yeah, equals to, all right, int, and then again I'll say 1. Just for the watch and get it more done. And then I'll come here to the next line and I'll use s equals to float this and name equals to float. Rather, using our quote notation favor. So now let's print it out. And how can we confirm this with typecasted x to ints and s to float? There comes a function called type. So instead of just printing x, all right, I will say print type of, okay? Yeah, I practically don't know anything. I'll print type of x. Okay. I'll print type of x, and I'll come down and I'll print type of s, and I'll come down and I'll print type of name. Okay, so what type is this? Don't take my word for it because I said it's strings, but I said it's float and integer. So let's see it's for real. Okay, you see that this is of integer, that is x, which is 3, and 3.0 is of float, and the last one, name, is string. Are we together? Any question? Am I too fast? Should I come over it? Should I come over once more? No, we are all new to this, so don't be scared. You can always unmute and ask questions. I can see Edidion, Sandra, Enobasi, Favor, and others. 9 on the call. 1 person left. Okay, 10. Are you hearing me at all? Just some reaction to make sure you're hearing me. Okay, so any question, or should I proceed? Okay, so silent means you're together, but then again, you don't have a question for me. Very soon, I will throw a question at all of you, so get prepared. Okay, Favor said I should proceed. Beautiful. Okay, let's go. All right, so you saw me use this hash, or some people call it pound sign, some people call it hash, however you want it. Anyone that suits well for you can use it. So what are they? What are they? What function did this hash have in this our code now? Let's get to see it. So there's something called comments. Not only in Python, we have it in other language. So there's something called comments, and one example of one uses of comments is that it can be used to explain code. You see it when I get to use it. Can be used to explain code. It can be used to make code more readable. Maybe you have, okay, this part I wanted to print someone's name, this part I wanted to print out a string, this part I needed to do this and all of that. So it makes our code more readable. And it can be used to prevent code execution, which is one of this one now is that code execution. What am I saying? Preventing code execution, right? All right. So that is that. Let's see how we could use one uses of it was using it to prevent code execution. So outside that, what are the uses of Python? It's not for the interpreter though, because already the interpreter ignores it. So it's for us human, it's for us developers using it to explain more. Maybe this function, what you're writing now, come back in the next 5 years, you will not understand maybe, oh, what was I trying to do here, or what happened here. But with the help of comments, It makes life simple. Okay, so I could say at this point, maybe line 12, I will add a comment there. I'll say explaining data types. Explaining data types. Then announce maybe data types in Python. Okay, it's left for you how you want to how you want to put it, because definitely it's for your own usage. How side preventing code execution. Every other usage of comments is for your own good. So not this one now is not for the interpreter or the compiler in some other language. So I use this when I said it explains data types. So maybe in the next 5 years you come back to this code and you see like oh, you say, oh okay. So yeah, I was trying to explain data types. And then I could come to line 14 and say typecasting, still using comments. I'll say casting. Just that I save it. You know that I will save it and you will not see any output for line 12, line 13, and line 14 in our console. Oh Jesus, in our output, someone just ran. Don't worry, it gets to know. So let's run our code and you see nothing concerning that, right? So what that does is that it tells you that the interpreter has automatically ignored line 12, line 13, and line 14. And yeah, ignored line 11. Then at the same time, make our code readable. Okay. So maybe if you come in the next 2 weeks, oh, what was this function for? It explains data types. And this part explain casting and all of that. Any question? Okay, so we've talked about data types, we've talked about variable, we've talked about comments. Now let's talk about something called numbers. Don't be afraid, don't be afraid. Just some normal numbers, the one you know. Hope you are doing this with me. Oh. This is not a literature class where you just come and sit and watch me explain one story like that. You have to do it maybe while trying to run the code. You have issues, you can let me know. So it's not a biology class where you come and listen to me talk about the father of biology and all of that. Okay, so let's talk about so I'll use my comments now. Let's implement it and we call it numbers in Python. All right. So just our normal application, right? Nothing much. We say x. Okay, since it's number, I can say num equals to 10 plus 4, right? I'll come down and I'll say print number. Okay, so if I run my code, let's see if Python will help us print number. We don't know math, we want Python to help us. Of course, you see 14. So Python can also help you in your calculations and all of that. So you could come here and say, now the operators, sorry, the operators in Python, we have this plus sign for addition, okay? To add your number, we have minus sign for subtraction. We have this asterisk. Asterisk is for multiplication. Then we have this for division. Then we have what is called the modules operator. What that does is that people are flying. That is talking too much. Okay, but you just get to know and then we see how to apply it. Okay. Now there should be another way of doing this. There are so many ways of catching a rat. Okay, so there are so many ways of executing a Python code. So let's see. Instead of saying none, of course, which is the correct way, the appropriate way to do it. But if you don't want to do it this way, you can still do something. Instead of printing out none, you could say come to your print statement and say 10 plus 4. Okay, so I'll comment this out. Number 23, I'll comment it out. 10 plus 4. Save my code, and that's we run our code. 10 plus 4. We have 14, right? So you can do this using several ways. Okay. Ask question. No, if I'm fast, you can call me back. If I'm not, you can still ask question, ask question, ask question. So what if I decide to?
Hello.
Okay, someone said something. Yeah.
Okay. You said we have integers, we have floats. So what categorize fractions under?
Fractions. Okay, so your fraction, if it's one, you still break it down to floats. Okay, depending on maybe at the result of your fraction, whatever you arrive it out, maybe is it going to be an whole number or is it going to be with fraction? Yeah, with floats. Maybe
Okay,
I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So it's now
I
left for
understand.
now. The output is what we determine where to classify it under.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Any other question before we proceed? Any other question before we proceed? Okay, so in the absence of question, I believe students, let's say here we have 3. So if you save our code, no, I have to give space to make it readable. If we save and run, we have 22. So how did we arrive at 22? First of all, there's what we call it's not hierarchy, or there's another word in programming that I'm trying to. Okay, when it gets to my head, I will let you know. But for now, use hierarchy. So instead of what Python does is that Python sees the addition operator and it sees this multiplication operator. What it does is that word just but use hierarchy for now. When I get to it, yeah, it's called precedence. Yeah, precedence. So which precedes which and all of that. So first of all, 4 times 3 is 12, right? So 12 plus 10 is 22. That is how we arrive at this 22. So some people might have think is 10 plus 4, 14, and 14 times 3. So it's not like that. It's first of all the addition and multiplication operator where we have brackets first. Okay, so let me use parentheses here just to see another example. So I'll now come here, add this. I'll now come here and say um, minus 2. So you see this. So now let's run our code. So I'll save and then I'll run my code. Let's see the outputs. 8. How do we arrive at 8? 2 times 3 is 6. And 10 plus 4 is 14. To 14 minus 6, we arrive at this. Any question? Yeah, so yes, I remember the word. It's not hierarchy, although I was not wrong. Can use like precedence. Okay. So first of all, in this case, looked at our parentheses before we have asterisk. Let me show you how it is. It's first of all, order of precedence is your your parenthesis first, okay, before something like asterisk, which is for multiplication, or you can use two for exponent, what is called for the exponents, exponentiation. Then something like plus equals to, if you don't squeeze your face, I'll still explain more. So plus, as I just said, plus equals to, some people like why two letters. And then again, minus equals to, and all of that. So we have the comparison operator, which is double equals to sign. So this is the actual equals to singular of this for assignments and all of that. So that is the order of precedence. You don't have to memorize it. As you practice more, you just get to know it often. So that is that. Any question before we proceed to another subtopic? Ask me a question now. We are learning. If you don't ask, how do you know? I have about, is it 12 people on the call? Okay. In the absence of no question, I'll continue, but just prepare. I have a lot of questions to ask you. So you're not asking questions, it seems you understand, right? So let's, another subtopic is strings. We talked about strings, but let's dive even deeper into that. So strings in Python are surrounded with either single quotes. This, let me use my notepad, with either single quotes, which of course is this, that is single quotes, or double quotes. So this is double quotes. So now someone just asked, when do I decide on when to use either of those? So the question is consistency. If you want to use single quotes, be consistent with it. If you want to use double quotes, be consistent with it. So it's a matter of choice. So we could have something like, let me stick to this. We could have something like this. Hello, hello world. And something like this. Single quotes. Hello world. You see the same thing. So it's just for you to decide which to use. So if I assign this to greetings, so let me just say greeting or greets, and now assign that to greets with small letter G, and then with this one with capital letter G. Mind you, they're not the same thing. Okay. Then I'll print greets and I'll print greets with capital letter G. So you see hello world. So if I save and run my code, so if I save and run my code, go down to our terminal, you see hello world, hello world. So it gives us the same output. So the usage is left for you on how to apply that. So let's see more on strings. I think I should just create a new file and call it string.py. Okay, just to make things more organized. So we're using people name, we're calling someone's name. Okay, so I've seen Sandra. Let me go use Sandra. Say Sandra. Sorry if I've murdered your name. Sandra Bates. Sandra equals to string. How are you today, Sandra? Is it that with this you are in charge of anything to do? Whatever you want to do is left for you. Just give it the right syntax, the right format, and voila, It's that simple. You can do anything with Python and other places. So this is Sandra, and I'll come here and I'll say Prince Prince Sandra. I'll still show you another way to do that. So I'll save it. This is string, right? We are deciding on subtopic strings. So if I come here and I run my code, Sandra, Prince Sandra, yeah, should have it. Then I say it's I just did. Then if I run my code, oh, my bad. I did not print anything. And no one mentioned that to me. Okay, so Prince Sandra. Oh, how are you today, Sandra? See that? So there's another way of doing this. Let's say I don't want to assign this my great message to Sandra. I just copy it. Okay, take everything out. Okay, undo it rather. Can just comment it out. Then I now come here and I'll place my greet message. Okay. If I save and run my code, you see we have how are you today, Sandra? So that was the first method, and this is the first method. Always either. Are we together? Okay, beautiful. Beautiful. So you could saw how I assigned a string to a variable and how I use it directly. So there's what is called multi-line strings. Multi-line strings. So I can assign multi-line string to a variable by using three quotes, either three single quotes or three double quotes. Please take notes. This is where consistency comes in. So let me say Sandra. Okay, let me just comment this out. Comment it out. Yeah, that's no comments. Then come here and I'll say greet message. Okay, greet underscore message. Is that the spelling? The spelling does not matter. What matters is consistency, right? Okay, so I will now assign my greet message and I use 3, 1, 2, 3. So like, okay, I will now come here and make sure it's 3 at both sides. 1, 2, 3. So, okay. So I could say, hello everyone. Welcome to today's class. Maybe we could use either comma or welcome to today's class. It's a hope you are enjoying the class. I'll still add some people. Some people are afraid to ask questions. Okay. But remember, there's no such thing as stupid question. And then I'll say, see outcome. So, okay. So don't be afraid to ask question. Thank you for being here. You see what? I said all of these, all of these. This is a string to greet message. So if I come here and I say greet message, right? If I save and run my code, you see all of this, my blah, 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 blah. Have you seen? Hello, welcome to Python class. This is a multi-line string. Hope you are enjoying the class. Some people are afraid to ask questions, but remember there's no such thing as a stupid question, so don't be afraid to ask. Thank you for being here. See how amazing Python is. Any question, my wonderful people. Everywhere is just so quiet. Okay, let's go. There is already 1 hour to the class. In the next 30 minutes, we'll be asking ourselves questions. Of course, Saturday is for um, Saturday is for hands-on practice. So that is that we could come down and say, just a favor. Oh, I love Sandra. Let me use Sandra. Not like I love Sandra over others, so and I like the name Sandra. And I'm not assign Sandra to. Let me say, how are you today? So instead of me printing just how are you today, Sandra, let me print Sandra. I come here and I say print Sandra, but not just Sandra. I'll say print Sandra, and I'll use what is called the square bracket, which is for assessment or individual assessment. My bad, sorry. So how do I assess the third element in this string? Let me not go too far. How do I access the first element in this string? So here, take note that Python starts counting from 0 and not 1. Okay? So instead of 1, H is 0, 1, 2. This space is included 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and all of that and all of that. So let's access the first element. So we say instead of say 0, which prints the first character. So if I save and run my code, save and run, you see H. So H is what our first element here. So let me say if I want to access the 10th element and all of that, instead of me waiting to count 1, 2, 3, 4, and all of that. So I can use this method and voila, Python will give me my desired index of element. So I could say the fourth one, right? Let me print that out. So if I save and run my code, the fourth, let me not go here first so that people will not seem lost. Let me just go ahead and access the fourth element. So save and run my code. We don't know what the fourth element is, but let's see what Python will give us. The fourth element is A. Of course, this is 0, age, 1, 2, 3, and 4. I told you the space is included. Any question, guys? Are you lost somewhere? Okay. Someone just unmutes. You want to ask question?
Yes, please. We want to ask a question. I'm Glory. I'm here with Sandra.
Okay, you can go ahead.
All right. So we don't understand getting characters from index 4 to 9, and it produced just A. Probably it should have produced something more than A since it's 4 to 9.
My bad. It's me who is not a good English teacher here. Okay. But yes, we can actually get something from index 4 to 9. And that is where slicing comes in. I did not want to introduce that yet, but since they've mentioned it, I think I have to talk about it. There's something called slicing in Python. What that does is that it's used this colon operator and go through all of that. So I was not there yet, but Remember me, I will still talk about that. So this is us getting our elements, individual elements from counting forward. So what if we want to get it in the reverse order, counting backward, which is of course Sandra and the A at Sandra. So that is when you can use the reverse or minus, however it's called. It's called reverse. Okay, so let's see this. This is -1, right? So if I save it and I run my code, instead of H, you see A because you're counting backward now. You see A, right? Which is this. So let me get the third one, which is D, right? I'll just come here and I'll say 3 minus 3. If I save and run my code, let's get it. D. This is it. Now let's get something. What if we want to get some? Now outside that is when I will now introduce you to what is called slicing. Slicing, right? So I would say give me from element 4 to about the seventh element, counting forward, okay, from the first one to the seventh one. We don't know, you don't know, but let's see what Python will give us. When we save and run our code, have you seen how I? So let's see how we get from 0 to 7. This is 0, right? I told you Python start counting from 0. So this is 0, 1, 2, spaces included 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So that is how we get how I. So let's get to now. If I don't add this 0 here and leave it, Python will still, yeah, Python has sense. Like to still know that, yeah, I want to get from the first one to the 7th. If I save and run my code, we still have our, right? Now watch. So if I say 0 here, I include 0, but don't include 7. What Python will do is that it will give me from the beginning to the end. Let me save it, then run my code. How are you today, Sandra? And what if I just include? That is different ways of doing the same thing, right? I'm just showing you. What if I include only this colon here? Python still has sense. Trust me when I say Python has sense. So it's going to give us everything there. So I'll save and run my code. See how are you today? So there's different ways of doing this. But now let's make it even fun. Let's say we want to get this. We want to get only today. Only today. How do we do that? So this was 7th in the last one. Space 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This should be the 13th one, right? So take note, still 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. So let's say give us from 13 to 18. To 18, right? We save and we run our code. Let's see you have today. Oh, I not counted well. That should be, instead of 13, that should be 12, right? If I save and I run my code, come to the console today. So you can access individual word, individual elements from a string. Are we together, my great people? Any question? Any question, great people? Okay, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Now there's you don't have question, but trust me, I have question for you. Let's go. I just hope you're ready. Now, instead of waiting to count 1, 2, 3, but that takes a whole lot of times, and as smart people, We don't have time. We can use what's called the length function. And what the length function does that it gives us the what should I say? It gives us the entire length of the string. So maybe someone asks you how many elements are here. You won't start like come and count 1, 2, 3. Come on, you don't have that time. So you could say length, call the length function, length of Sandra, right? Let me take that out. Instead, I'll add it to the end. Length of Sandra, right? So let's take this our comment out. By now we understand what comment does as senior people. So if I save and run my code, we get to know the length of Sandra. 24. That's beautiful. So that means even if we have thousands of things, blah 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 blah, like a lot of things there, Python can still help us out. Where is it? Sandra. No, it's not supposed to. So just this and print it. What is going on? Okay, so Sandra equals to this, blah blah blah. Okay, we don't have a string. We need to add a string there. Okay, settle. So don't panic when you see red. Just calm down. I will talk about error message, so we don't get panic when you see error. So it said length of a lot of things here, like thousands of things that maybe you don't have the time to count them individually. So just call the length function the length of Sandra. And hello, we are good to go. Okay, put Sandra here. S. Okay, so if you save and we run our code, 75. Okay, before you can even blink, the result is out. So that is it for length. Any question, please? Maybe we're just so quiet. So quiet. Any question?
No question from me.
Okay, that's from Favor. About other Sandra, Ofonime, Emedion, and the rest.
No questions for me.
Oh, good. Smart learners. All right, so okay, let's try something else. That's that. Let's try something. I think we have today in Sandra. Okay, so let's do something instead of doing. We say, I'll come here, take it out, ma'am, and let's take some decision. All right, you as an individual, you make decisions. So let's apply. Let's apply our condition statement. We want to make decisions. So like, okay, if the class is interested today, I will join next class. If it's not, I'm done. That is the making decision. You're like, okay, if it doesn't rain today, I'll go to the market. But if it does, no way. And maybe, okay, if I go to the market and see big fish, I'll buy. If I don't, I'm done. That's the making question. So we can, make decisions, take some smart decisions and all of that. So let's say if, of course, you use if we're making sense, if this happen, do this, if this, do this. So let's say I still love Sandra. Let me use Sandra. If Sandra in what? In Sandra. If Sandra is Sandra, I'll explain, so just chill. If Sandra is Sandra, prints yes, the string is present in the variable. So what this means is that our variable name where we attach this long string message to is Sandra. And Sandra happens to be, okay, let me not use Sandra so that not be as if Miss Sandra. So let's say if today, Control Z, Control Z, Sandra. So now come to here and say, if today in Sandra. So what that means is that if this word today, here is in Sandra, I'm asking Python now to print, yes, the string is Sandra. That is our goal. I'm trying to see where this comes from. Today is not okay. Can someone tell me why we're having this one in here? People do not have question for me. Oh, I have question for you. Why do we have this one in here? My wonderful people of Python for machine learning. Why do we have this? Okay, so let me take over the first one. The next one you do it. It's because today is also a string because initially it is a string, right? So it is inside this our long string. So we want to access a substring. I'm out of word though. I don't know which word to use again, but that is that this word today is a string. So if I do like this and then I leave it here, you will see that the error will disappear. The warning either. See that with me, right? So if I save and run my code, yes. Have you seen? Yes, the string is present in the variable. Can we just add something else? Print no, the string is not there. So let me just make it say, so instead of small letter t, I'll use capital letter T. That's when consistency comes in. But here we have small letter t and I did capital letter T. So if we save and run, we see that we have the else parts of our code. Else, no, the string is not present in the variable. Question, guys. I'm waiting for questions. Oh. Ask me questions. Ask me question. Often may say you don't understand anything. Okay, you're just joining. Okay, the class is recorded. Okay, so once we finish, I'll drop the link. But from where you join us, I believe at least you are not lost. Trust me, you're not lost. I try as much as I could to make it fun and make us have fun while we are learning. Are you okay? Can I go over it again?
Yes, go over it again once, please.
From where? From where? From the condition, yeah, decision
Yes,
set.
yes.
Okay.
From this, is it if today is in Sandra? I'm trying to understand the quotations that you had it. You know, initially there was nothing like quotation there, right?
Okay,
So
I
after
think
that,
it's
yeah,
okay. I've had your question. So
okay.
there's quotation there, but it's not. So let me reduce the size of the string for you to see that we have quotation. This long one I use to explain the len function, right? So you can see this quotation mark, of course. This quotation. So now each individual element or word, let me say like this, each individual word in this string is also a string. Okay. each individual word in this string is a string. So now I'm saying if, where is my mouse? Okay. So I'm saying if today, this particular today with capital letter, but we only have today with small letter, right? So I'm saying, listen, just leave Python syntax and listen to me explain it now. So I'm saying if today is in this string, okay, so Python should run this. Yes, the string is present in the variable, and of course, Sandra is our variable. So I'm saying if today in Sandra, what that means is that if we have this string today in our variable Sandra, I can even take Sandra out and name it anything, just S. Nothing spoiled, and I'll come here and I'll say S. You see, Python has already give us a warning that Sandra is not there because I've changed it to S. And if we over it, you see that we have Sandra is not defined just because I've changed the variable name. So if I take it out to S, you see the warning is gone. So what this means is that if today is in this variable, in fact, leave S. If today is in this variable now, print yes, the string is there. Or print anything. I'm the one that writes this one. You can just decide to print yes, or you can just decide to print no. So I'm saying, okay, if this word now is in this string, print yes, it is there. Else, that means if it is not there, print no, the string is not present in the variable. As simple as that. So in Python words, as Python would want me to present it, I'm saying if today in S, do this, else do this. It's just for you trying to take decision. If it rains, I'll not go out today. But if it does not, I will. Okay, if I go to the market, I'll buy what fish. If I don't go, I will not. As simple as that. But in Python syntax. So it's for you to understand it first before you try to apply it. If today in Sandra. So now we don't have today with capital letter, but we have today with small letter. So automatically the else part, the else block will run. No, the string is not present in the variable. So if I save and run my code, we have no, the string is not present in the variable. But if I come here and change this capital letter T to small letter t, then save and run my, we have yes, the string is present in the variable. Do you now understand? Okay, so any other question? Okay, so believe we are good. Now, if string in, if this, so could just have, if it's in, then we could have out. So if string not in, something like not in S. So what this means is that if this is not in S, now I have to change the logic. If today not in S, print this. So can take over it, take over this word. If today not in S, we have the block. We have the block. But just ignore it. We have this block because it's going to confuse you, right? So let me change it. If today not in string, prints the variable is not in string. Then I can come here and just change the no and say yes, the string is present. Just anything. Understand the logic and you can fix it anyhow and any way you want it. Yes, the string is not present in the variable. Any question? Ask me question now because you have a lot of assignment to
I have
do.
a question. Glory here.
All right.
So why is he printing yes? Please, can you go back to that screen? So why is he printing yes? Okay, yes, the screen. Yes, the string is not present when it is present.
Oh, beautiful question. Beautiful question. Let's go and look over it all together. If today not in S print the variable is not in S, else print yes is not in S. Did I say that's not in S? Okay, so let me save it and run again. Thank you for drawing my attention to this. That's beautiful. It means you're following and then again you are consistent. Okay, so let's make a twist and see where that is. Probably we have an error. We read my error message. I save it and I run my code. The variable is not in the string.
Okay, I think your mistake is from what you
And then
said you could print.
let me. Someone is saying something.
I said I think your mistake is in where you said we should print. What you said we should print. The first one you said the variable is
Oh
not
yes.
in the
Oh
string.
yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes.
It's
Yeah, it's in the logic. Remember, it's cabbage in, cabbage out. What you feed you that is what you get it out. So if today is not in the string print, the variable is not in the string. Else, if it is there, print yes, the string is there. Okay, so so this one is right now, except when we have the small letter, which is if today not in string, the variable is not in string. It should have been the variable is in. Thank you for that. Yes, the string is not present.
It's still there. It's still there. You haven't changed it.
It's present and is not present. Okay, I believe you are good to go now. Is not present. It is present. When they tell me to go school, it is present. Well, it is present. So guys, please, it's not about the print statement, because what you fit into the print statement is automatically what you have on your output. So everything anchors on the logic. This line anchors everything. So Glory, you asked the question, and I believe you are okay now. It's not about what you fit to the print statement, because definitely what you fit inside the print statement is what you get back. But still not the logic.
Hello, it's still not clear, because what is in the print is it is present, and then in the top one the variable is present. So we should have a not somewhere. If today not in S, the
If
variable
today
not
S,
present.
the variable is not here. If today
Then
not
if
in
it's
X, the
present.
variable is not in straight, else it is present. So
Okay.
if you want it.
Yes, you're following now.
Yeah.
Thank
You are
you.
good now. Yeah. Okay, so that was it. And then again, the print statement doesn't matter. What matters is the logic. So, and at the same time, you have to be careful what you feed to the print statement, because definitely what you feed into the print statement is what you get in your output. Sorry about the confusion. Glory, are you okay now? There's not only closing the call. You have a lot of people. Any
Yes,
questions?
so I'm okay.
Okay. So I'm not heard from a DD or often email and a lot of others. Let me even check my
Are you still
people.
sharing your screen?
Yes.
Okay, I was the
You're
one
not
that asked you question before now.
okay, beautiful, beautiful. I also have promise. I have promise and I have to edit. Okay, I have a medium. Yeah, I have a medium. So I've not heard from promise and I've not heard from a medium. Better ask me what you don't understand now because come on, you have a lot of assignments to do. Maybe I can go over to some parts again. Let me leave the screen. You look at it for like 2 minutes. Anything you don't understand, I can go over it.
Okay, my network was fluctuating, so I could not get the yes or if yes, if no.
You mean this part? This
Yes,
from 15.
yes, ma.
Okay, so I actually know this will bring confusion. We have this loop, if else, this condition statement as a subtopic on its own. But I wanted to explain string using this. There are a lot of things can be with string. So we go deeper into the if statement as a subtopic on its own. So from there you get it better. So this was just to explain the things you can do with strings and all of that. So don't worry, no fears, you get it. My skin is getting messy, so I can just take it out from here. Erase it and let's go. Okay, now so let's look at another subtopic called how can we modify our string? Just string modification, you might say. So there are so many methods in strings. We have like the upper method, we have the lower, we have a lot of them. Let's see. Let me still use Sandra. I think I like that name. Sandra. Then I could just welcome Sandra. Say welcome. Welcome, just welcome Sandra. And I want to print Sandra. Our normal way is printing Sandra. This Sandra is in the one person. So we can call our upper method. Okay. So you could say here Sandra dot what, see that Python is already bringing a whole lot of method. You want to scroll down, you see the one we are looking for, the upper. Think of not saying it is slower, so upper should be here. So let me use it myself. Sandra dot upper. Okay, Python has given us. So you want to make everything here in uppercase. We have it in lowercase. You want to call the method Sandra, and what are we looking for? Want to call the dots, the upper method rather. So if we save and run, you see we have everything. Welcome in capital letters. And what if let me do like this? Take this, copy this, maybe make this welcome. Control Z, like instead of using small letters, I will say welcome, right? And now instead of upper, I want to change everything. Dot lower. Python has given us that. Now, why do we use this? Why do we need this? In the sense of using a method called input, what input does that it collects information from the user. And one of my mentor will say, never trust the user. So you might, in your application, what you wanted was, okay, let's have everything in small letters. And you don't know the frame of mind of your user. Come and input it in words, capital letters. So what you do as a programmer, if you leave it, even if the person use capital letter, once the value is inputted, Python will automatically change it to small letter. So that is why we basically that's the need of this function, lower, upper, and all of that we get to see. So if I save and run my code, irrespective of the format the person enters, we have it as in low cases. Any question, please? I think we have another method called I forget. Yeah, strip method. Let's say we
Okay,
have
I
this.
have a question, please.
Oh, beautiful. Go ahead, please.
After that lower, the brackets, are they necessary or we can still type it without the brackets?
Yes, it's necessary. I made mention of the function. Once you see this parenthesis, Python, it shows you that it's either two things. It's either it is a function or it is a method,
Okay.
right? I don't know if you could remember when we have our learn function. We had something like this. Yeah, so it shows you, yeah, it is a function or it is a method. And I talked
Okay,
about
thank
safe
you.
keywords. I talk about the safe keywords in Python. So these are one of the safe keywords. So we identify them with this. So we could have something like not all of them are identified with this. Just like you saw us use if statement, we saw us use in. Is also a safe keyword in Python. But basically the method and the function, you will see them with this parentheses. Are we good to go?
Yes, I'm good.
Okay, so let's say you don't know, maybe still using the input function. When we get to the input function, we see the usage, but you don't know, you prompt a user to input his or her name, and instead, maybe mistake or deliberately, they have a space here, a white space, not just a space, but what we call it white space. So we have a method in Python that can strip off that space, take it out. Okay. So instead of using upper here, what is it? Upper here, we could call our strip method. Okay. And if I save, you will not see this space in our output, right? Just welcome. Now let's try something. Let's print it without the strip method. Save my code. Are we together?
We lost you for a moment.
Yeah, I'm aware. Can you see my screen? Just to be sure, I've shared screen somewhere actually.
I can't see your screen anymore.
She lost me. From here, please. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. But
Okay,
I
so
share
like,
my screen.
hello, Favor.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm sharing my screen now. Is it visible?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay, beautiful. So I think class supposed to end by 1, so we have 20 minutes more. 20, sorry, minutes to use. Okay, so where did you lost me, please? Okay, so I believe we are together. And another thing is we have another method called replace. So can replace Sandra dot replace and I replace this entire favor with welcome with favor. Let's see if Python is powerful. So I'll save and then I'll run my code. It's replaced with favor, but with string. We can take it out. Then again, we can replace well just well with a with letter A. So if I save and run my code, you see that entire well replace with A. So instead of welcome, we have a come. People are not saying anything. Are you tired already? Are you tired? Don't be tired, please. Okay, so that is that. And we have let me introduce one more method before we leave. So instead of that, we could say welcome. Welcome. I think I saw Esther in our call. So say welcome, Esther. Now we want to split it. We want to split it. Instead of replace, let's use a split method. We want to split this with space. Okay. Or better still, let's use this comma that we have here. So a dot split, then we split with comma. So if I save and run my code, method split or string as this anything. Okay, yeah, it should be the same. Now, why do we have this error? Let me see if people were following. See the error message. Built-in method of string, like built-in method split of string updated. Just leave this. Look at this. Why do we have this error message? My great people, why do we have this error message? I talked about something that comes with functions, and I talked about something that comes with method. So we did something, we missed something in our code, and Python is just frowning at us, say, "Oh, come on, you missed something there." People that do not
Some
have
people,
questions to ask.
some people have raised their hands.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. You know, when once I'm not here, I don't see who talked and who is not talking. So once I ask question, you can just unmute and speak. I see promise, I see people. Either of you should just unmute times. Yeah.
For me, I think it's because after split, you didn't put the brackets
Very
to show
beautiful.
that.
Nice. Yeah. So that is that. If an answer, so you see that it is split using what? That is also supposed to be so because we need to assign what we want to split with. So at this point, I want to split with comma this. So if I save, I want it to say it. If I save my code, you see now it splits this with comma. But before it splits everything, it splits welcome, it splits comma, it splits this time. So I just want it to split. So what if we want to split with space? No, not comma any time, but space. We leave a space there. We save and then I run my code. Esther, promise, no. We need a space here. Save. And run our code. So it's going to split the three of them differently. It splits, see this, instead of this way. It's split Esther and welcome. Any question, please? Okay, so me, I'll have my own question to ask you if you don't have questions.
Please, can you just help us explain? Just please explain the split all over again. Thank you.
Split. Okay. So what the split method does is that it splits each of the individual elements in this string based on the command gave it. The other time I said it should split using comma, right? It is a command. I told Python, look, I want you to do this for me using this. So if I save this, look at this when it was now. This is where you get the difference. Look at this when it was split with a space, and now see the output you have. Now we want to split with a comma. You can see that's right. Here, this quote is here where we have comma. Remember, this is a string, right? Like welcome is a string, Esther is a string. So it separates welcome from Esther here. But when you add space, it gave a space, not with this. See where we have this, what is it called? Our quotes. That means it separates welcome and it separates Esther. But here, Esther and welcome is inside one quote, one single quote, but with a space split. I don't know which other word to use and explain. This quotes here, and welcome is inside. But here, Esther is here, Esther is here. It is welcome and Esther. Okay. Using comma, right? But here, using welcome, we have welcome. Sorry, using space, we have welcome and Esther in the same single quotes with a space split. I think I've tried to explain that, or I should go over it again.
It's
Who asked
okay.
the question? All right.
It's Sandra that asked.
It sounds like an
I said it's Sandra that asked the question.
okay, beautiful.
Yeah, we're good now, we understand.
Okay, beautiful. So just a quick, fun quiz before we leave. I think we have about less than 10 minutes or so to leave. So just to be sure, just to be sure you You got what I said. I want someone to tell me what to do now. I want to turn all of this now to um I want to make everything, I want to capitalize everything. So how should I do it? I don't know. Teach me now.
Print Sandra dot upper.
Okay. Sandra, then dot what?
Upper.
Sandra dot upper. I don't know. And I tell me this one. So according to my people, if I print Sandra dot upper, everything will be capitalized. Okay, so what is the mistake? People did not tell me what to do now. So see your code. Oh. What did we miss?
No quotes. No brackets.
Beautiful. So if we save and then we have a welcome and a star. Okay, so I have a space here. Maybe someone leave a space here and you want your thing to be aligned, you want everything to be nice. How can we take away that space?
Sandra dot
Sandra dot
strip.
strip. Okay. Like this, right?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. All right, so let's see. Another thing to do. I want someone to help me assess the third element in this string.
Okay, so you print Sandra, then you use a square bracket 2.
Sandra, square bracket, and what?
2.
2. Okay, so explain to us why you are using 2 instead of, okay, we needed the third element, but you are telling me 2. Can you explain to us? Let me be sure you know what you are saying. It's not a guesswork.
Okay, because you said that Python starts with 0, like all the strings start with 0. So the first one is 0, the second one is 1, and the third one is 2.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. Hey, we have a third element, L. So if I want to start counting backward, like from the reverse, and I want to have E, how do I do it?
-1.
Minus. Someone is saying something.
Yes, Glory. I said -1.
-1, right? Okay, let's say -1. Beautiful. Wow. Okay, so that's great. That's great. You got it. You got it. You got it. And then again, I'll do this. So with just this, what will be the output? With just this, what will be the output?
Welcome.
Oh, beautiful. Okay. That means we're following. Truly, we're following. Welcome, right? Truly, we're following. So if I add 0 and these are save and run, what do we have? No. What will be our output?
It will still be welcome.
Great. Indeed, you were following. Okay, so that is that for two. Someone is saying something. Someone just unmutes. Okay, and one last one. I want to find the length of this string. How should I do it? Let me make everything clear. I want to find the length of what Sandra. I don't know the length of this welcome. How do I do it?
Print
Length.
Okay, Prince. I'm going to do just exactly what you length.
Sandra.
Okay, so that means I have to add another This right?
Yeah.
Is this like this?
No.
Yes.
Like how?
It's
What he's saying is, I know he's saying no.
Okay.
Okay, it's like this.
yes.
Yes.
Okay, why do you say it's like this? Look at it very well. It's saying a
It's
thing.
not like this.
Okay, so tell me,
Length,
what should I do?
length. After length, you
Then
open that bracket after length. Then close after Sandra.
Like this.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, beautiful. Okay, I don't know. Let's see. All right, so great. Beautiful. So that is it for today's class. I think we have 2 long hours of learning. So I'll leave you at this point to not just to go and close your system like we are done for today, to go back and learn. I'll drop some material to go back. Yeah, that reminds me. I did not drop the curriculum to the new learners. We actually have a curriculum that we follow. So immediately after the call, I will drop the link to the curriculum. Then that will serve as a guide for you to learn. So please, we can only have like 2 hours of learning, just 2 hours, and some people are tired, but you have the rest of 22 hours for yourself. So I can only do my best. You have the biggest parts to play. So don't just go back and close your system. Go back. The recording, I'll make it available to everyone. You can go over it again, read the material. Where you have question or where you don't understand, can get back to me. Drop it on the group. Please, nobody should DM me. Just drop it on the group so that if I answer, respond to a question, maybe some other person can learn from that. Okay, so how was today's class? Especially our new people. I think Sandra, today is your new day, and the
Yeah.
others. How was it?
Today for Sandra and Glory.
The
Okay,
beginning was so scary,
You wanted to go back.
please don't. Yeah,
but as we continued, we
It
picked
was
up
getting
and
clearer.
we now understand.
yeah, it's okay to be like that because it is our first time, so you are new to it, and we're like, wow, what is it going to look like? Is it going to be like one rocket science? Well, I'm glad you picked up along the line. So it is going to be like that still, when you get to study and you get to study and get yourself familiarized with the syntax, just gain some masteries on what you have to do, and you are good to go. Okay, see, I was playing with people's name and all of that. Everything is in your hand. It's not difficult. It's not difficult. Trust me. Okay, so we stop here for today and we meet again on Thursday, same time. Then our Saturday, of course, is for our quiz and on and hands-on practice. So you go and study. For the new people, you are still in your screening phase. I'll drop the assignment on the group. Of course, you have to submit it before the next class, Thursday. So with that, we call it a day. It was nice having to meet with all of you. Okay, so and I'll stop recording.